Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Be Real with D Real, where entertainment is what I do. Welcome, realists. Glad y'all came in and decided to rock with the brother. Now, before I get into what I'm about to get into, I need y'all to do what y'all always do for me. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D Real page so that when you get alerts, you can act on them and come see my vids. Also, push that algorithm up the ladder. We making things happen, trying to make things happen. So if you digging what a brother's shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket. Put some dirt in my bucket. Hey, y'all, it's recommended reading time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know I did recommend reading. Never mind. This week's recommended reading. I got 4 titles I want to share with y'all that I have read. 2 are Marvel Comics. 1 is DC and 1 is Image. So without further ado, let's get into Avengers number 52. We are continuing the saga of the multiversal masters of evil. They also known as the Death Hunters. Real quick, want to give you a rundown of who you are actually seeing in the picture. You've got up top there, that red one, that is Killmonger in a destroyer armor. You've got Kid Thanos, and that's Wolverine, and he's somehow been mesmerized or something. He's got spikes through his eyes. She appears to be a Madam Mask type Phoenix. And of course, in no matter what universe he's in, Dr. Doom is always Dr. Doom. And then you have the Red Skull covered in a Venom symbiote, aka the Black Skull. When we open up this story, Captain America is at a funeral in Kansas, and he is burying one of his World War II buddies. But since there are no pallbearers, all the people who would have been pallbearers for this cat are already dead. So Cap's got to carry the casket by himself, which I think is kind of cool. And he also has Captain Marvel and the new Star brand accompany him to this funeral because he knows that the Star brand's mom's house is in Kansas City, Kansas on Strawberry Hill. To my Kansas City, Kansas people, y'all know where that is. And there they are heading to Strawberry Hill in Kansas City, Kansas, when all of a sudden they are ambushed by the Ghost Goblin and the Black Skull. And the Ghost Goblin and the Black Skull are giving Cap a hard time. Cap is thinking that Venom is Eddie Brock, and so he's putting himself at a disadvantage because he don't realize it's Johann Schmidt until he lets him know, fool, it's me. And battle kind of goes bad for Steve and Carol, and they're trying to protect the Star brand, but what they don't realize, the Star brand doesn't need no protecting. The Star brand is handling her business. And then they have to retreat without killing all of the Deathlocks because they were not expecting a Star brand in this universe. And look what happens to the Star brand after she destroys all of Ghost Goblin's soul bombs, which explode and take souls. That's interesting, Ghost Goblin. But look what happens to her after she takes care of all of them bombs. She does a little growing. So we got almost, if that ain't an adult, it's definitely an older teenage Star brand. So that's what's going on with the Avengers. Oh boy, oh brother, they look like they're catching a case. On to, Black Panther #3. My LCS finally got it. Yay! And it says issue #3, but it also says 200. The disparity with that is this. This is the 200th time that the Black Panther has appeared in a comic book with the name Black Panther on the title. So they're counting all the way back to the 1977 Jack Kirby run on Black Panther to commemorate this situation. Okay? Now, we pick up where we left off. These assassins were killing off T'Challa's sleeper agents in different countries. And he was on a mission with Jai and Omalolo, and Omalolo's man Jai got killed. So now T'Challa and Omalolo are left to fight these assassins on their own. And they seem to be doing somewhat all right. But T'Challa knows he needs support with this. So T'Challa takes off with Omalolo for Mars. And we all know who's on Mars. Yep, that's right. There's a lot of talking going on the trip to Mars, but the really huge thing with this is he takes her to Araco, which is the terraformed area of Mars, which was terraformed by the mutants. And he is greeted, or they're both greeted, by Storm, Rogue, Gambit, and Gentle. Now, Gentle is uncharacteristically angry, which is something we don't see a whole lot of with Gentle, even when Gentle is in a fighting situation. And he gets mad at T'Challa and cracks him one. Oh boy, what happened there? Then they just letting him manhandle T'Challa. You know what I'm saying? He's just like, choking him up and all of that. What's going on? So, long story short, he chills with Storm for a little while. And we get this scene. Oh, it is so wonderful to see those two back together the way they need to be. Her duties don't allow her to be a queen because she's a big wig in Wakanda. But at the end of the story, we see Gentle come back and we discover that Gentle too is a deep cover operative in the X-Men. And Jai was his homie. And T'Challa was coming to Mars really to let him know his homeboy had got killed. And so he's like, can I have a hug? And he hugs him, touching. There are 2 backup stories in this Black Panther comic book, and it basically tells a tale of when T'Challa came to the aid of Bast and dealt with this trickster and had to get an item from this trickster that Bast had bade him to get, otherwise she would end up dying. And of course, T'Challa succeeded, but it looks like the trickster tricked T'Challa into getting this item and then kept it for him, or tried to keep it. But T'Challa let him know, you're gonna be seeing more of me again. Also, we see the beginning of a new character coming out by the name of Tosin, who bears a very striking resemblance to one Killmonger. But we're not going to make that connection. He has the ability to manipulate vibranium as a part of his body. Let's see what Tosin is able to do with that. And Tosin is of the mindset that Wakanda needs to not depend on folks like T'Challa no more. Wakanda needs to depend on her own. Let's see how that turns out in the future. Onward to Black Manta #5 of 6. In this issue, Devil Ray confronts Black Manta. And just for those that don't know, Devil Ray is basically kind of a knockoff of Black Manta, who looks a whole lot like Black Manta and utilizes weapons similar to Black Manta. And ends up putting one of his tridents in Black Manta's right-hand girl and tells Black Manta, you got to come with me or we're going to let her die. But she probably doesn't end up dying because Dr. Mist is there, and Dr. Mist is a mystic who helps her to get the trident out of her. And she's ready to go help Black Manta. But what Black Manta is doing, they're on a mission and they're in Devil Ray's lair. I like how he uses fate technology or fate magic to teleport where he needs to teleport to. He's got a trident, the Atlantean trident that he claims he is going to use to kill the Atlanteans and then raise Atlantis to the surface, and all of his people will have their rightful lands. Doesn't say how Black Manta feels about this, especially since that was kind of Black Manta's mission anyway, right? That's what he wanted to do. Maybe not the same way Devil Ray did it, but they shouldn't really be at odds when you think about it. But Manta is Manta. And also, what I also wanted to mention, Chuck Brown is the writer on that issue, on that Black Manta series. If I haven't mentioned it before, I think I have. Just like he's a writer on ding, 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 Bitterroot number 15. And it's the last book I want to talk about because this is the last issue of Bitterroot, at least the last issue of Bitterroot on the current run. Okay. And if you are a Bitterroot reader and you ain't got to Bitterroot 15 yet, you may want to stop right here because the Sangre family is in really dire straits. And as you know, if you've been reading Bitterroot, they like to time jump. They jump from the past, they jump to the present, and sometimes they jump to the future. And in this particular instance, we've jumped ahead maybe like a year or so from where we were a couple of issues ago, and the Sangres are losing their battle against the Janu. Despite all the allies they have accumulated, allies of both science and magic, they are still losing the battle because they have found out that the root is only a temporary fix. People who are affected by it eventually can be reinfected or retransformed back into Janu, and it gets to a point where you've got a contingent in Harlem of both Janu and humans and Zandos, which are they are demons that's different from the Janu because the Janu are spawned by hatred, whereas the Nzando are spawned by grief and trauma, which is much like what Verge became. Because he was able to, handle it or maintain it for a certain period of time. Blink is now the leader of the Sangre family, and she's struggling with leadership and if she's a good leader or not, because the Janu are winning and it doesn't seem like they're making a difference. But Maeda goes to the ancestral plane and talks to her hubby, Metellus Sangre, and he's still young and beautiful, and she's talking to him like, shut up, you old cool, don't be trying to pitch that woo with me. I come here for information. Give me information, Negro. And she basically gets the information that they need to defeat the Janu. It turns out the Cantu are what you need to defeat the Janu. And for those of you that don't know, the Cantu are those are the cuddly little Pokemon looking creatures that you see right there. And they attack this demon tree, but they have to be careful not to directly attack the tree, but attack the tree's spawn. And that way, the tree won't respawn. They are just allowing the Cantu to do what they do, because when they come in contact with the plant, it causes a pollination, and that pollination is able to, that's why they running around with canisters of the potion on their person, and they jump around on the tree while everybody's fighting, even though they're getting washed, but they manage to kill the tree. Flash forward to 1939, and of course, we know there's all kind of hatred in Poland, and it's going to be Jew Nazis. So we get to see a glimpse of the next generation of the Sanger Jew culling family. Some of them they might have to amputate. But that's it for me. Those are the comics that I have read and that I recommend you read because this is recommended reading. What'd you think? Y'all ready for some Bitterroot? Y'all enjoying that Black Panther? What's popping with Black Manta? Y'all need to check all of that out. And if you have checked it out, let me know what you think about it in the comments. And as always, comment, like, and subscribe to the page. I'll be coming at y'all with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Good to each other.